All right, good morning, Alta Realty Group agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here. And today we are joined by Derek Nichols. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning.
How you doing today, buddy?
I am doing good. I am awake.
All right, good man. That's a start. And today we're very, very pleased to be joined very shortly by Paolo from Preview First, which is an amazing company. They're pretty much the premier company when it comes to photo and video for real estate. So we're really excited to have Paolo. I just spoke with him. He's pulling into a Starbucks so he can join us very quickly. So he'll be on the line in a little bit here. So anyway, first of all, we wanted to, of course, have Derek tell us what's happening in the lovely world of mortgages and finance.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So as Kevin mentioned, my name is Derek Nichols. For those of you who have met me or not met me, I'm the regional sales manager for Clearview Mortgage that works hand in hand with Alta Realty Group. But what I wanted to touch on this morning was just the importance of cross qualification if you are the listing agent in a transaction, and it's something that I think that a lot of agents don't really utilize, and it's not that you have to, it's not mandatory, but it's definitely an awesome tool that you have at your disposal. Basically what a cross qualification is, or cross qual is when you're the listing agent and obviously you have potential buyers coming in. It's typical to get a pre-approval letter from the buyer's agent representing the buyer, and sometimes you can even, if they're thorough, they'll give you proof of assets and maybe even a DU that's been run. But further than that, one extra step would be to have them actually have a mortgage banker like myself or anyone else actually review, get a second pair of eyes to review those documents that your buyer's turning in. Make sure that their taxes, their income are in order, their pay stubs are in order, taxes are in order. Make sure they have make sure the assets are there and sourced and seasoned, so there's no hiccups for your transaction. That's really the whole point of it. It's not so much. Sometimes there's a hesitancy to not have a cross qual because you don't want to ruffle the feathers of the potential buyer, and that's not what this is about. It's not about me earning the business or sticking my nose in anything. What this is just basically for you and your seller. It makes you look like a rock star because you not only did you find the seller, you find them a buyer. Not only did the buyer on paper looks great, but then you also had your preferred lender scrutinize that buyer, their documents, make sure everything is all the ducks in a row, everything is looking great, so that you can reassure your seller that, look, I've gone above and beyond my job responsibilities to make sure that not only did I find buyers for your property, but also that we scrutinize them. Like this is going to be a clean transaction, and that is what we're trying to achieve here. That's the bottom line, is making sure that not only do you have a smooth transaction, but that you get business from it, you get referrals from it. It helps grow your business. And the best way to do that is with performance and making sure that there's no hiccups. And that's something that I want to make sure that everyone's aware of, that they can utilize, is this cross-qualification process. So basically, that's what it is. And it's really easy. It would be at the initial start of the process where you get the offer from the buyer, and then you just basically recommend that to validate this offer, we'd like to have a cross qualification done. That's really the ins and outs of it. And sometimes there's hesitancy from the buyer, like, well, are they going to rerun my credit, or what's going to happen? That's not it at all. I don't rerun credit. All I do is I just look at the existing documents that they already have provided their lender, make sure all the ducks in a row, and then report back to you, the seller's agent, listing agent.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a quick question for you, Derek.
Sure.
Do you ever get any, resistancy from the other side, or are they pretty open to do this?
Yeah, initially there's always a little bit of hesitancy from the buyer side, the buyer's agent, because they're like, well, the first thing is I don't want the client's credit rerun. Of course, that's not it at all. We don't run credit. We just look at existing documentation, and it's also a delicate thing. And so when I'm talking to the buyer's agent or the buyer themselves, it's just to reassure them that, look, we want to just make sure this goes smoothly. That's all it is. It's not an invasion of privacy or anything like that. We just want to make sure it's double checked. Once I'm able to talk to them and explain that to them, the resistance goes away, because at that point they realize, okay, we're not trying to take the deal. We're not trying to rerun anyone's credit or harm the transaction anyway. We just want to make sure that everything is solid, is sound, so that the listing agent can report back to their seller and just say, hey, look, I've done everything. I've scrutinized everything. This is going to go great. And then we can help explain that with, documentation that I've provided and documentation that I can verify and have a chat with the listing agent. So that way, that's what it's there for. It's only to help and only to reassure everyone, all parties involved, that this is going to be a smooth transaction. There's not going to be any hiccups.
Yeah, what a great resource, and it should be a part of the process. It should be a step that everybody takes.
Yeah, I think that it's just not used a lot because there's that hesitancy of, well, I don't want to offend anybody, and it's not that at all. I think that's just a conversation that's had. Everyone understands that it's not there to take the deal, just there to make sure that it's sound. And it again, just to reiterate, this is to help the seller be reassured that their time is valuable. The listing agent's time is extremely valuable.
Yep.
You want to make sure that the deals that you have coming in, the offers that you have coming in, are sound, and that's what that does. It just makes the listing agent look that much more proficient because not like they've really had control over all aspects of it. That's the point of it.
That's great, Derek, too, because we've been last week we talked a lot about listings. This week we're going to be talking about listings, video and photos and listings. And next week we'll be talking about a complete checklist of what to do when you get a listing, what to do all the way through. And so that is on the checklist. Make sure that
awesome.
So the buyers are cross-qualified. So that's amazing. Anything else that you want to add to that, Derek?
Well, just that whether or not they utilize this as far as the cross-qual, any agents listening, I just want you to know that Clearview Mortgage works hand in hand with Alta Realty Group. So we're here legitimately here for you. It's not mandatory. You don't have to use me at all. But if you want to run scenarios by me or have questions, or maybe you're working with another lender and you're questioning a certain scenario, by all means, please call me anytime. I mean that sincerely, nights, weekends, whatever, just to let you know that you have this resource available. By all means, you don't have to use it, but it's definitely there for the taking. So just want to make sure everyone's aware of, that's available to them.
Yeah, and that is the advantage of having that in-house lender. You understand our business, you understand exactly what our agents are doing out there, and so that's amazing. Thank you, Derek.
Well, right on.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Derek. And we'd like to have Paolo Biancalani from Preview First join us. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute Paolo. Paolo, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kevin. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. And so Paolo is with Preview First, pretty much the Southern California premier real estate photo and video company. And so, Paolo, tell us a little bit about your company. I'm going to pull your website up. And Paolo, the great thing that Paolo is going to go through today that I'm really excited about is Zillow's walkthrough program. So first of all, Paolo, tell us a little bit about your company, and then we can get right into that Zillow walkthrough program that I'm really excited to check out.
Yeah, Kevin, hey, I appreciate the intro. And without being arrogant, in our space, we're kind of a unique animal. We do offer a full service approach to marketing and promoting brand, primarily in real estate. We do some retail work. We also work with a lot of the big builders here, Perdee, McMillan, William Lyon. These are some of our clients, but primarily in our space, we're known as one of the top teams, if not probably one of the largest real estate media teams in California, promoting brokerages, brand, and listings, residential and commercial. So, we're known primarily for our photography. That's how we started in the industry. We've been in business for about 15 years. We have a good portion of the market dealing with a lot of the top producers for the reason we're known for delivering consistent, dependable results and media that gets attention. So that's critical. In consideration of who you're using, you got literally couple seconds. With most people, you got milliseconds with the millennials to get their attention. And takes about one opportunity for first impression, 20 to correct that, apparently, according to most studies. We're big on the first impression. So we're big on making that first impression. So at very reasonable prices. So
Yes.
we have photography starting. If you jump on into our products, we offer the full suite of services to market you and your listings. Photography starting, full shoots starting at $125. It includes the branded virtual tour, the unbranded virtual tour. We have video solutions starting at $75. I mean, the pricing you're looking at there is 1,000+ scale. So we don't mess around. We're about fair and equitable business, large volume. We're a regional company. So, but we'll be, like Kevin, you and I discussed, I'll put you in contact with our Zillow counterparts in other parts of the country. And that kind of segues into our relationship with Zillow. We're known as a select photographer, a certified select photographer. It's their highest tier, their highest quality tier. I think there's only a couple of us in California, from what I understand. So we're all about consistent, dependable, quality results at a reasonable price. So yeah.
Yeah. So and Paolo, that really that lends itself to exactly what we've been talking about the last week or so in our webinars. The old adage, garbage in equals garbage out, really rings true with marketing, with real estate, because if you start with poor images, if you start with poor quality video, the end product, of course, is going to be poor as well. So that's why we contacted you, and that's why this is so relevant for us right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, that's the reason kind of why you look at everybody's probably looking at that the beginning of that slideshow. And honestly, that's the reason why we weighed into this with Zillow. I mean, we have in probably SoCal alone about 21,000 clients. I mean, we have a national reach with our white label service, but and probably if we polled our clients, the majority of them don't have a positive opinion about Zillow for varying reasons, but some do. And what we took a look at this like as a business, and we said, look, we're going to look at the empirical data. We're going to see how this program affects positively or negatively our clients. And we found out that it's kind of Zillow had set this program up kind of in a binary fashion where you participate, they offer you unprecedented benefits. And literally you can do this yourself to promote your brand and your listing. Your listing, there's some restrictions on branding, of course, on Zillow, but, and then the negatives are, and unless they change their policies, when you pull up your listing and it's without a Zillow video attached to it, you get the algorithm slaps a no video. It's the first thing the buyer sees. It slaps a no video overlay over your first curb shot before you can get to the photos. They basically want to remind you that you should have participated or could participate to get benefits. So it's not putting your best professional foot forward. It's literally free. And there are other benefits to it that we'll kind of go through once, we kind of start walking through this. If you're kind of ready for that, we can kind of explain what this program is.
For sure.
But it is so it's nationwide. It's nationwide. I mean, we're a Southern California boots on the ground player here. South LA to Mexico is kind of our service territory. So a large service territory, but again, mostly a SoCal player, but there are our counterparts throughout the nation that are working with Zillow on this program and their clients. So, they can reach out to Zillow, or they can, like I told you, you can give me their names and I'll find out who the preview first are in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
But this program, okay, so here's the deal on this program. Zillow basically realized a couple years ago that consumers like video. And I do that somewhat tongue in cheek because, there's YouTube, there's Zappos, there's all these organizations that's just purely video platforms because of the huge demand for video. So Zillow realized that there's huge demand for video. They've done some polling and consumer surveys, and I think it's like 80+%. They were at 2 to 3% supply on Zillow for video. So it was so far behind the demand. So this program was crafted literally to play kind of catch up, to incentivize listing agents for some unprecedented benefits to attach a Zillow video to their listing and get SEO boost for their listings on Zillow, go right to the top of the search results. And they've got a series of algorithms in place. One of them is looking to see if the listing has a Zillow video attached to it. If it does, then it runs you right to the top of the search results. You get a whole bunch of other preferential benefits. They're still not quite publicly telling people that they're emailing out potential buyers the listing to. And it's based on what we understand is based on search history. So Zillow kind of, like everybody else, from our understanding, have been somewhat profiling people based on their search history and their search habits on Zillow. And then
so
when
they
these
do a
videos
retargeting, right? They do a retargeting
Yep,
kind of
yep.
campaign. Got it.
Yep. So it's pretty hyper-focused from what we understand. When you attach a Zillow video to it, they look for people that kind of match your listings criteria. And then those individuals or those profiles or users are emailed your listing. So, and it looks like it, in a sense, it's kind of endorsed by Zillow because it comes in from Zillow.com. So it's not your junk or your drip marketing campaign. It's not going in the spam or junk email folder. It's going in their inbox, Zillow.com, and they change the wording sometimes, but basically check out this listing we think you should look at. So, and literally, you can download the app and do it yourself. I mean, I don't recommend DIYs. I don't recommend DIYs in professional marketing, but you literally can. And it was designed originally to download the app. You're the listing agent. Shoot a video for your property. Will give you benefits. So that was the first rollout with this program. So if you're looking at it like that second sheet there shows you what your property looks like on Zillow to the left without a Zillow video attached to it. To the right, that's the first thing the buyer see. What it does look like with a Zillow video attached to it with the play button prompting, the potential buyer to take a look at the property kind of MP4 video. So
Wow.
It's not the slideshow.
No. Yeah. And let me just kind of clarify this. So Alta agents, what Zillow's doing is if you're including this and can you clarify what a Zillow video is versus just uploading a regular video? Is there a big difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
So So initially the Zillow video was created because Zillow because they were scratching their head going, where are we failing with video? Like, why are listing agents adding video on Zillow? Well, it's cost is what they can't. Ultimately, they ruled it to two kind of factors: cost and it's somewhat difficult to add video to Zillow, and it was. There's cost. Most nationwide, there's approximately, according to MLS, only 20% of agents do professional photography to begin with.
Right.
So that's a huge differentiator right there when you're doing professional photography. Yep. So professional video, it's like 2 to 5% nationwide. On our world here on the coast and Southern California, the ratios are higher. But nationwide, we're talking nationwide. So Zillow said, okay, let's craft this thing so they can literally, as a listing agent, shoot it on their smartphones. Then once they launched this thing, they were horrified to realize agents typically cannot shoot professional video or are not pretty decent at shooting video.
Right.
And they became somewhat concerned about content and the quality of these videos on their platform.
Right.
Then they went to plan B and they approached all the big media companies in the country and said, okay, how about you guys come alongside? We'll certify you and you join ranks with us on this program. So that's where we we weighed in because we saw the benefits to our clients. So now the pricing will eventually get to that pricing sheet I shared with you.
Sure.
For $75, we'll come alongside you, add it to a photo shoot, and we'll do what's called a standard Zillow video through their app, but we're adding stabilizers and wide angle lenses and a professional videographer shooting one. But it's an MP4 video. It's actual video footage. It's not the slideshows with the photos where you kind of use the software to kind of come across the photo and it looks like motion.
Yeah, create a quote unquote video, right?
Correct. Yep. So they actually have a monitoring team in place looking for that. And they've had agents before that have the slideshows from their photos set up their iPhones in front of their computer monitors and capture those videos. And if they note that, they pull it. And they literally have a monitoring team in place looking for that. They want actual video, MP4 video on their platform. They do not want slideshows. So, and branding, they don't, you can capture your for sale sign through the app. So like if you have a for sale sign, I highly recommend if you're going to DIY it, capture the for sale sign. It allows the consumer to stop the video, get all your contact info. It also clearly shows you're the listing agent. So that's the other benefit of it too.
And Paolo, I'm sure you guys, as a practice, you guys do capture the
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So when you guys are doing the video, you guys do that. You guys are pros.
Yeah. We make, our team also says, please make sure, if you want your contact info, have your for sale sign at the shoot. So, and then we do offer a step up. So we one of the very few that can then, so that's our entry point is the if you're looking at, now you're looking at the slide, the under the Zillow video section with our pricing sheet there, the standard one is the one I just referred to.
This one
and
right
if
here.
you had it to shoot, it reduces it from 150 down to 75. Now, again, putting your best professional foot forward, I highly recommend our enhanced Zillow videos, which is our pro real estate video. That's with music, synchronized clips, ending with your branding. We animate, you give us your headshot, your contact. We have an animated closing screen. It's very professional. That's $200. So in pro real estate video, that is, about a third of what most professional real estate videographers will charge. We do volume. So we do about 1,500 to 1,600 of these a month, as far as our shoots and productions. Yeah. So you're getting the benefit of economies of scale with us. But sure. Again, that's the one, and we can go through some examples. I can show you some examples of those, what they look like on Zillow. So given that Zillow's also emailing these out, kind of hyper localized around your listing, it's beneficial to brand these videos. So either with your for sale sign.
And let me reiterate, let me kind of touch on that point real quick here, Paolo. To me, that's the most important thing. Zillow guys will do the same way we do some micro targeting in areas with listings. They will send out email blasts to local realtors, to local people, and it'll have your listing if you include a video. So that is massively powerful. And if you don't have, a video as part of your, your listing on Zillow, they're not going to do that, and they're not going to shoot it to the top of the listing page. So very, very important. It's kind of a sneaky little trick that Paolo is telling us about on how to, outdo your competitors in your area.
And Kevin, the other thing I will say, I do a lot of trainings on this. We're somewhat of the local SoCal expert in marketing and media. But on the Zillow program too, I've been amazed at how many of the major brands, all brands, simply are ignorant or don't know about this program, or the opportunity to leverage this with the consumer, the homeowner, the home buyer that does like Zillow and goes to Zillow. If anything, just being aware of it and being able to articulate this to them, there's value in that. So, to the tune of, I think it's approximately 50 to 60, and it tops about 70% market share on real estate searches. The Zillow Group is a major player in this space. So, that's the other thing I do advise clients, whatever their opinions of Zillow are, ultimately, if the consumers are in game, the home buyer and the home seller, and they're on Zillow, how visible are you on that platform?
Right. And it's, like we discussed, if all of us have an opinion about Zillow, and most of us realtors really don't have a high opinion of Zillow, but they are massive. That's where a lot of the eyes are. And so, it's one of those things where, if you can't beat them, join them. And at least, see if you can leverage, your positioning on that platform, to benefit yourself. And that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, and also, we also track all the data, so we have access to all the listing statistics, and we track it, and we see immediate impact. The market, as far as how the market reacts to these, because we think, and again, we don't have access to the actual individual emails that go out, but we watch the views literally double, triple, quadruple once these videos are published on Zillow, because I do believe, because it's hyper-focused and it's going to people that have an interest in a property that fits that criteria. So that, those are some of those case studies that, of course, that you're seeing now, how the market literally the day after we publish these, how they instantly double and triple. And we've seen Irvine, where it's literally gone 8 or 10 times the amount of views versus the second competing listing.
Wow.
So so it's super, and we craft these too. If you, again, as the listing agent, you can easily craft these yourself, but we do craft these as a courtesy. It's a custom request, but you just gotta let us know when the property goes on the market, and my team will craft these for your agent. So, and it's super useful for both showing the homeowner, hey, I'm doing my job, and prospective clients, hey, look, this is how I market my listings. And this is the kind of performance that I typically get. And because the program is designed to boost listings with Zillow videos, you can kind of, part of your marketing pitch or strategy would be, hey, look, I can guarantee you maximum market visibility should you list with me because of my marketing strategies being the Zillow video program and on Zillow. So it's kind of a quick hook, easy hook, right, with the consumers, who are interested in Zillow. If you're at their door and you're saying, look, should you be interested in a listing? I'm one of the local area specialists, but my marketing strategy guarantees visibility, maximum visibility on Zillow. Should you be interested in listing in the future? Here's my contact info. That sticks. So
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are some of my recommendations, and my clients are leveraging that both into their listing presentation, their marketing strategies, are having success. So, and ultimately, you can do this yourself. So
yeah. And Paolo, would you mind if I shared these case studies with our agents?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah, this is data from Zillow, so
yeah.
This is stuff that they can quote, and of course, it's an educational piece. So it's not like, well, hey, wow, you had a $26 million listing in Irvine, in the Dana Point. It's more about these are just examples that you're showing the homeowner. So
right. No, very, very powerful stuff, Paolo. And one thing that you said was really powerful, which is, you're not just, spending this amount of money on this listing. You're doing this to, of course, impress your seller, to, help get this listing, out there and to have a lot of visibility for the listing. But almost more importantly, you're creating pieces that you're going to be able to show to the next seller and the next listing appointment. So that's almost more important. And then, over time, if you're able to build this library of amazing videos, amazing photography, that is definitely, if I'm a home seller, I want a realtor that does that. And that's what, in my mind, separates that person or that realtor from another realtor that, I don't see their awesome, marketing materials that they've done for that, listing. So really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, if you do, again, if you, there's a series of different marketing strategies as far as if your agents are doing Facebook ad campaigns and posting this stuff, and hyper-focused into the communities they farm. We can, if they're up for it, we can mic them up and we can do a property agent intro. And because of the agreement we have with Zillow, that's permissible. That's allowed, even if they're not premier agents. So they can actually appear and brand their videos with their faces, which is, usually that's costly as a premier agent, of course. But it's all those fees and requirements are waived if it's running through our profile. So, as we're known as a select photographer with Zillow. So I can brand for my clients upwards of 15-second intro, 15-second outro. I don't recommend that much. A brief intro in the beginning is tolerated by potential home buyers.
Yeah.
And if you, because of the way that these videos get pushed out, when you're outdoor knocking, there's a high probability if people have been searching around considering selling, they've probably been emailed that video by Zillow. When you show up at their door, either they'll immediately recognize you or you'll look familiar to them. So,
right.
So that's called so we do also offer that. So that's in that pricing sheet under, it's called property introduction. And it's not $150 like it shows on the pricing sheet. If you add it to one of the enhanced Zillow videos, it's $75. It reduces it by half. So it's,
so just $75.
Yeah, if you're looking at video production right there, you see where it says property introduction at $150. It's actually, it reduces it down to $75 when you add it down to, if you look under Zillow videos, to the enhanced Zillow video for $200. So it ends up running you $275 to do a branded. We'll mic you up, give us the script, a couple days ahead of the shoot, and then we come out and we, if you need a teleprompter, we'll bring the teleprompter out. So for $275, that's a pro real estate video featuring you, scripted, with teleprompter, lighting, light you up. So anyway, and that's the opportunity too, because it personalizes the video. A lot of times people want to see, if they can relate to you. Besides you being professional, you want to conduct yourself professionally, all that good stuff. But this is a very personal business. When that housing report came out, everyone was terrified to see that there was 68% of the market first-time home buyers are millennials, right? Because everyone's like, oh my goodness, now I got to become a social media expert. The housing report also revealed how many of them are going to agents because they need that personal touch. So that's the good news, is that that's still very important to the home buyer. So and of course, and people looking to list and sell their properties, they want to have a relationship with these agents. Want to see that you're the area specialist. You conduct yourself professionally, but can they relate to you? So that's also why we do recommend our clients either doing some kind of video with its community, and you can do those yourself. Just kind of being visible and having a market presence personally on the web somewhere. So we do offer those too. So.
Okay, good. Well, we've run out of time today, Paolo. Of course, the best way for these agents to get a hold of you would be this phone number right here, this 949. 491. Okay, good. And I'll make sure
that reach my team.
Perfect. Yeah, so what I'll do
is reach Melissa for sure.
Yeah, I'll put this back out to all the agents, make sure that they have all of the contact information, and we're really looking forward. And then the other thing is, agents, if you are outside of the Southern California area, contact me directly, and I'm going to be getting kind of a list of affiliates in Northern California and some of the other areas that we're present in. And so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, just give me a call directly if you're outside of the Southern California area.
Yeah, and then Kevin, that in that box, that gold box down below, just have them reference that promo code that gives them $50 off their first shoot with us. So it's like literally half off.
Perfect.
They just got to reference that. And even you can load online and place your order. Just add that promo code, and it will automatically deduct it off the order. So
yeah. Perfect. And then also, guys, don't hesitate to go to previewfirst.com. And peruse the website. Tons of you can see some great examples of their videos. You can see the photography. You can see the virtual tours. So I definitely recommend that you guys go there and check out what they're doing. And then Paolo, we'd love to have you come back on the Wednesday webinar maybe in about 2 weeks and have a follow up. Yeah. And maybe we can kind of, take this to the next level and show the agents exactly. And maybe even by then we'll have one of the Alta agents that have done this, and we can have an example of that.
No, I'd love that. And then we'll also touch on the imminent launch of Zillow's counterpart to this video program, which is their 3D home tours. It's going to be first to market. Kind of, we've never seen any of the, Redfin or any of their competitors go to market with a similar solution. So it's supposedly going to be released in the next month or two. So I'd be able to touch on that too, and at least be able to advise your agents, hey, look, this is imminent. Buyers are going to love it. Just be aware of it, and again, it has the same SEO boost on Zillow for your listing. So I think it's important. So we'll take a look at that too.
Fantastic, Paolo. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Again, this has been Paolo Biancalani from Preview First. And you guys go out there, make it a great day, and we'll see you next week on the webinar next Wednesday.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Paolo.